Okay, hello and welcome to the Tainted Tavern, the place where the stories are always on tap. And I've got a book review for you today. In fact, I've got a double book review for you today, so there's two book reviews. But they're going to be light on detail, both of these reviews, because both of these books are very cleverly structured and they've got a lot of twists and turns, both of them. And I don't want to give spoilers away because these are both current books. Both of them haven't come out in the last month. I read them both this week. And first up will be The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. Mark, he's a multi-million copies best-selling author. And his is a great success story in the modern age because he started out way back in the day when the ebook craze first kicked off with the Kindle. I mean, I know there were ebooks before the Kindle, but there was a boom when the Kindle came to market. And he started off, first of all, co-authoring a couple of books with another writer, and his first solo book was The Magpies, which was a fantastic seller, did really well, and netted him a deal with Thomas & Murcher, which is the Amazon's own imprint. So his latest book, The Wasp Trap, is published in hardcover, not by Amazon, but by Penguin Random House. Now, what is The Wasp Trap about? Basically, it's about a group of friends who hadn't seen each other for a great many years. They were working together in the 90s during the initial dot-com boom. And they were working to design a website that would change online dating forever. They called together at this reunion, but all is not what it seems. It's a really twisty kind of story, and the twist towards the end of the book, wow, I didn't see those come in. I was sort of 3/4 of the way through this book and I was starting to get a gist of what is exactly happening, because believe me, it's really well structured. It's kind of a modern day spin on the locked room mystery, though by way of an home invasion story. And I was 3/4 of the way through this book and I was thinking to myself, hang on now, this is stupid. The main, how can I say this without giving too much away? Let's just call them the baddies then, the goodies and the baddies. The baddies in this book, I was thinking their goal could have been much more easily solved, by a much easier way than going through this what seems like a convoluted way of solving things. But then that thought that I had was thinking, and the story was maybe starting to fall apart for me because of that fact. But then on the very next page, the reason why they couldn't do what I was thinking is addressed, and it makes perfect sense, and it really pulled the book back together for me. I read this book probably in 2 or 3 sit-ins, so I thought it was fantastic. Mark Edwards, The Wasp Trap. I've read several of Mark's books in the past. I've not read them all, but out of all the ones I've read, this is probably my favourite. This is excellently well structured. The suspense, it gets you from the first couple of pages. It's really well set up. It's an excellent book. Likeable characters, some humour, and some really bits where it'll send a shiver down your spine. So that's The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. It's available now in hardcover. I believe there's a Kindle edition out there, and obviously a paperback is going to follow. So that's The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards, highly recommended by me. And the second crime novel I read this week is the latest Tom Thorne thriller from Mark Billingham, What the Night Brings. This is Mark Billingham's 25th novel. It's his 20th Thorne book. Thorne first burst onto the scene all the way back in 2001 with Sleepyhead. And what can I say about this book? Well, it's been a while since we've seen Tom Thorne. The last Tom Thorne novel, The Murder Book, I think was 2020, so it's been 5 years before we've seen, 5 years since the last Tom Thorne adventure. Mark Billingham has brought back his beloved detective for this, the What the Night Brings, and this book ends with kind of a cliffhanger. Is there going to be another Thorn adventure? I like to think so. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Now, this is about a series of cop killings. It starts off almost humorously, because the cliche about cops loving donuts. So there's a raid on the home of a very dangerous criminal, and outside on a squad car, on a uniformed squad car, someone leaves a box of donuts with the words scrawled on it, "Thanks for everything you do." When Tom Thorne emerges from the house where the raid with the armed police is taking place, he sees 4 constables eating these donuts. He's hungry himself, and he's almost at one point going to push to get half of the donut off one of the characters, one of the uniformed constables who are eating these donuts, but he doesn't. He walks away. Turns out those donuts are poisoned with arsenic, and 3 of the constables die almost immediately, and the other is in a coma for a short period, and it looks like death is imminent for this character as well. It looks at police corruption. It uses the theme of one bad apple can spoil a crop kind of thing. Now, the twist at the end of this is absolutely fantastic. You don't have to have read any of the other Thorne books to enjoy this, and you can enjoy it as a standalone. This could be the first Thorne you come to, and the ending will blow your mind. But if you are familiar with the series and you've read, as I have, most of the previous Thorne novels, I think there's probably only 1 or 2 I haven't read over the years, so I've read them all, so I know the series really well. And if, like me, you know this series really well, you're going to lose your shit at this ending. It was absolutely unexpected, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. So Mark Billingham, What the Night Brings, another fantastic book. I do hope there's another Tom Thorne novel, and this isn't the last. I try not to give spoilers away for this, because to spoil the ending of this, in fact Mark actually picks up on this on his afterword in the book. I'll just read the section from that now. So Mark, in his acknowledgements, writes, "I should begin by thanking, in advance, those readers who choose not to post any spoilers, specifically those relating to the double whammy of shocks and reveals at the end of What the Night Brings. Believe it or not, there are those who delight in such mean-spirited activity, the sort who would gleefully spoil the Sixth Sense by telling everyone that Bruce Willis is actually a ghost." What? Bruce Willis is a ghost in the Sixth Sense? Cheers, Mark! So, no spoilers, fantastic. Both of these books, absolutely brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Both on sale at the moment. The Wasp Crab and What the Night Brings, both are fantastic, and I urge you all to read these if you like crime thrillers.